Alright, so GOAT is finally out, and if you'll ask me about this new project, then I would say it's a refreshing way to explore the world of sportsmanship, the challenges they face in their lives, and how they can overcome their fears and shine in the championship. The ending is really open, and honestly speaking, then it can indeed bring you a sequel and a spin-off. And people might come to me and say like, hey, the movie just premiered and you're already talking about a sequel or a spin-off. But again, what can I say? The ending is enough to speak a lot. So in this video, I'll be explaining you the ending scene while having a look at multiple spoilers, including some of the biggest questions about the sequel that many of you would love to know, right? So if you're someone who is still waiting to watch GOAT, then you may leave this video. And with spoilers warning, I'm your host Aryan, and here is your full analysis of GOAT. So what is happening in the movie? Basically, GOAT is all about Will, who is more like an underdog for a game called Rollerball. The entire film is revolving around the game, which is dominated by heavyweight or the fastest animals. Will is having a bright vision for his future as a sportsman, but despite having immense talent, he is often overlooked and doubted because of his size, compared to that of rhinos and gorillas. Now, during the entire film, you can see Will, who decides to lead his team to victory by overcoming his personal doubts and professional rivalry. He is also getting supported by mentors and teammates like the star player Jet Fillmore, and the flavor of discrimination and real-life challenges is exactly the thing which makes GOAT even special. So, what is happening by the end? Now, that's the question people keeps asking here and there, not because they are looking for a recap of the ending, but because people like me would love to know about the real meaning and how it can bring us a new sequel. So before moving forward, let's have a look at what exactly is happening by the end. Now, as we move forward, we can spot Will doing his training and preparing for the championship. His team has got a chance to compete in Rollerball, so they are obviously gonna try their best, no? By the time we get in the second half, or simply say the final act of the project, we get a chance to watch the full match where Will is the one who is working like a guide and not just a solo hero. After gradually winning over his teammates like Jet and inspiring her to grow as a player herself, Will helps lead the team into the championship game. By the end of the game, Jet uses her public persona for the advantage of Thorn and luring the other team into overcovering her while giving Will an opening to make the winning shot. The ending is not just them winning a championship, but it's about the connection they made in their journey. Now, Will is looking to stay, and luckily Moro takes the charge and he buys the team, which allows them to stay here. Now you may be asking me like, what's so special in Vineland that's making Will to stay here, right? So let me tell you why this ending means more for Will personally, and yes, it's emotional. Basically, Will loves the place of Vineland because of how people from all around came together to support him when he lost his mom. In fact, I'm gonna call it a turning point for his entire character development, especially when we see how even the rough characters like the local bully and cheap landlord came all together to support and bond with him. So that's also a reason why he decided to keep the team in the Vineland, because it feels more personal and the only right way to show his appreciation for the efforts of the people, right? It also highlights how important that sense of community really is and why he understands the city's frustration and grief over the team being sold. The joy felt by the team and the city in the finale feels more authentic than just supporting a local team, and honestly speaking, then it was my favorite moment from the movie as well. How GOAT sets up a potential sequel. So finally, the question which comes after almost every other movie, no matter what you're watching, even if it's a movie or TV show or whatever, if it's making you smile, then you'll be like, when are we getting a next film or a sequel, a spin-off, prequel, or whatever they can bring us. Especially when we are talking about Sony Animation, who is like dominating the world of animation recently, even if they are making some really messy type of decisions while cancelling the movies. Anyways, the ending of GOAT is just so open that it can even bring you not one but two projects in the future. I know they are still waiting to see the box office number, but let me tell you one thing. GOAT is gonna be a confirmed success and you'll be watching a sequel. So what is happening at the end which sets up a sequel and a whole new spin-off? First and foremost, the biggest hint is coming from the game of Rollerball itself. If you can remember, then the League of Rollerball apparently spans multiple cities and places, each with unique style and team cultures. Since the team of Will has officially won the championship, it earns them a very exclusive invitation to compete in larger tournament with the name of Grand Circuit. Now, to be very honest, I don't really see any doubts or problems in their future planning, and in fact, if you'll ask me, then I would say that Sony is already planning to bring you more from this universe. I mean, you can tell that by looking at the ending of any project, and GOAT specifically is like simply setting a whole new adventure or future possibilities already, right? And if you are wondering about the Grand Circuit, then it's gonna be a larger tournament that focused on multiple teams from different continents. So maybe you might be even having a look at a team belonging to your hometown. And if something like that happens, then the movie or sequel can definitely bring more cash for this company. Now the characters like Maine, who was embarrassed in the final game by the hands of Thorns, could seek a chance to take back the crown from Will after the popular defeat in the championship. It can set a whole new revenge arc which can even bring you some darker twist of events which usually turns into some violent act to eliminate the opponent completely. So if that happens, then Sony can explore the best chance of showcasing some darker sides of the sports industry as well. Secondly, there is also a chance to explore the after effects in the championship on the individual characters like Jet. She was injured during the final game and still ignored the advices of the courtside doctor to rejoin the team for the final minute. So I'm guessing the injury she suffered might become a reason to end her career as well. If they'll show something like that, then we will definitely cry for such a character, and it's gonna allow a sequel or a spin-off to focus more on the recovery of Jet or an attempt to create a new path forward. While I agree that it's gonna depend upon Sony to see if they wanna explore more about this universe or not, but either way, GOAT is indeed having some of the most open type of endings. In fact, ask me and I'll even bring a prequel, and I mean, why not? Like, if Disney can bring you so many prequels, spin-off and sequels, then why not Sony, who is in fact hiring the new artists and bringing you the original ideas. And so for the prequel, they can explore the backstories of Will or other characters. Talking about Will, then we might explore the life of his grandfather, who once was the player of Rollerball, which was also a major revelation in the movie itself. A prequel can allow us to see how the past of all these characters or their family members was looking like. Then talking about a TV series, then they can follow the roadmap of Zootopia Plus, where they can easily bring the unexplored stories of the remaining characters, the past and the journey of how Jet is making a presence in Rollerball, or maybe like how their respective journeys was looking like. All of these things are having a lot of potential, and I know people are gonna love these ideas a lot. Still, Sony should try to focus on a sequel for now because that's something which is having the strongest base plotline by the end of the first film. Only time will tell if they will give us GOAT 2 or not, but this movie is definitely a fresh change in the time when we are getting so many sequels every single day. The ending, the plotline, character development, animation, concept, and everything is working perfectly, so now I'm waiting for them to announce a sequel already. But anyways, as a fan as of now, we shall just go and watch the movie in theaters so that they will be earning the profit they want or whatever the target they have set for this movie before announcing a sequel and bringing the same quality and the future adventures of Will. You tell me how much would you rate this movie on a scale of 10, and I'll be rating it 8 out of 10, and let's see what they brings you in the future. I'm just Aryan. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Peace out.